Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Break the Cycle with me, your host, Joshua Smith. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday.
It is Thursday.
It is
he keeps
Thursday.
getting it right.
We got it right this
Thirsty
time.
Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. Mm-hmm. I am excited to be home. It was a wild whirlwind trip to West Virginia and Maryland. I had to do all three of them pretty much. So happy to be home. I'm exhausted, very, very tired. If you guys have been following along, you know that I had the great honor of going on Timcast in real life yesterday evening. Man, it was a fun shot, man. I had a good time. It was, like I said, whirlwind. I mean, 24 hours. I was on the plane there, do the show, slept, and back home in 24 hours, pretty much. Pretty close. So
it's crazy. Did you see under the beanie?
Huh?
Did you see under his beanie?
No, Tim doesn't take the beanie off.
It's just grafted to his skull.
No. He admitted it on the show. I've only heard it a few times, and you were on one of the shows where he talked about it briefly.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm bald."
Yeah, he knows he's bald.
I got it. Yeah.
So making fun of him doesn't.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not making fun of him.
Yeah.
I've just never seen it.
Clown him. He doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't care.
Well, there's a great meme that uses him. I don't know if it's an actual picture of him without the beanie or if it's just photoshopped, but it's just like breaking the worst person you know made a great point.
Oh yeah, that's not actually Tim Pool. That's not a picture of Tim Pool.
Oh, that's not Tim Pool?
No, it's just some random dude from the internet.
I thought it was Tim Pool photoshopped without the beanie.
No,
you got Tim Pool rickrolled.
No, it's just me. It's just some random dude from the internet. So, but yeah, it was a blast. We'll talk more about it for sure.
It's actually my cousin from Iowa City.
I was very excited. I have taken some shots at Timcast in my career as a podcaster, but not mean ones. Just like, well, if you don't like Timcast, we have a good platform over here that's kind of like that. But you know, we let our guests speak a lot.
Oh yeah.
But Tim is the nicest guy, dude.
That was a good show.
He was very, very, very nice. He's like a very nice guy. And Ian, for as much hate as he gets, is the most kind-hearted dude I've ever met. Like, just super sweet, like a sweetheart.
I'd love to meet him. I'd love to meet him.
And then, of course, Phil has been my buddy for a long time. I've been listening to his band for years. I think we opened for him once in San Francisco even. So it was nice to hang out with him. And man, the castle's cool. Everything's cool there. Timcast is a great place for sure. Mm-hmm. Guys, go check out toplobster.com, the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend and partner on Break Cycle, where you can get this great Wear the Mask Joe Biden shirt that you see me wearing tonight by using BTC at checkout for a 10% discount. Or you can join the Patreon, subscribe, become a member of the YouTube channel under all of our videos by hitting the join link, where you can get into a private Discord server where you get to talk to Ryan a lot, at least. I try to pop in from time to time. Of course, we're running the campaign Discord server right now too, so that's a lot of work. And you can get all the Top Lobsters gear up to 2 weeks before it goes to the general public at a 30% discount if he ever throws any more up there. I did message him about it a couple days ago. We'll see if we can get some more Top Gear, some new Top Gear out. I need new Top Gear. He even commented on this shirt when I took a picture of it, and he says, "Man, that shirt's seen better days." I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Only shirts I wear anymore are like Top Lobster gear." Of course, you got you got Ryan tonight with the Wood Chipper Go Burr shirt in salmon. We'll call it salmon, but it's really like powder pink.
I guess
the Pedo Eater 2020.
The Pedo Eater 2020. And we are supposed to have a guest on tonight, Mr. Derek Bros. We're just waiting for him to show up. If he doesn't show up, we'll talk about Frozen Turtle Mitch Fetterman.
Yes,
and of course we'll talk about the Trump stuff because that's pretty wild. And we'll talk about the crazy conspiracy theory with Joe Biden that we talked about last night on Timcast, because we want to further evaluate that situation.
Yeah.
With a little trip from Joe Biden to the Eastern Europe and see how that works.
We should also talk about the awful, horrific, unthinkable Gadsden flag patch.
We'll be talking about that
in school. How dare you?
We'll be talking about that
on these hallowed halls.
And I will say that last night, speaking with Phil about that. You want to? Yeah, he's got it on his backpack.
It's very scary.
Yeah, you can't go to school, buddy.
Yeah, it's from slavery.
No school for you.
Yeah, you racist.
That's a
you
slave snake.
Racist.
Yeah, if you look closely, there's a little chain around the bottom. He can't move. It's a
chained.
slave snake.
Yeah. Don't tread on me totally means slavery. 100%. It's a crazy story. But Phil had last night when I was talking with Phil, he had a really good view on that, which is kind of something that I didn't really think about. But before we get too far in, let's check in with my co-host, Mr. Ryan Kurtz. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing quite well. While people were waiting for the show, I saw we got some Yep Cocks.
Yeah, I got.
Can we get some more Yep Cocks?
Yeah, drop spam Yep Cocks for
actual
our good friend.
Yep Cocks.
There was an actual
Yetcocks.
Yetcocks at the very beginning.
Yeah, there were.
Let's see. Let's see
Son of
it might have been Joe the OP.
And JC for sure.
It was Jay Thorau, buddy, the great Bitcoin guy. I love him.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey Jay, how are we doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Vax free, Chinese balloon free, and mostly white.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying there's an echo.
There.
Oh,
I got desktop. Yeah, I think I messed with the limiter on the somehow I messed up the limiter on the Focusrite, so I got to figure out how to fix that. I don't know if I can do it on the fly. I probably could.
an echo.
Let's see. Yeah, because I've been recording the audiobook. I've been recording an audiobook
that's right.
for Dave Benner.
You're about done with that, right?
Oh man, I'm gonna have it done by the 11th. That's the goal. I did give a good shout out for him. I think he sold some books today because I shouted out. To
That's true. That's true.
Yes, so
Yeah.
hopefully he's not too mad.
Yeah, he did shout him out on Tim Pool.
I
once,
messed with
so-
the threshold on the noise gate or something. I don't remember what I messed up, but I messed up something.
I think you're supposed to turn it off, right?
No, it's the threshold, the open threshold, and the closed threshold on the noise gate. I had to mess with it because it was like cutting off the beginning and end of my words when I was trying to record the audiobook.
Okay.
But it worked fine on the podcast because we're loud.
Yeah.
But I had to turn it down, and I don't remember what I had it on, unfortunately. So I'm trying to figure it out here. Let's see.
Yeah. While he does that, can you guys give the show a like? It really helps us in the algorithm and helps push this show out to more people, which we would like to do because Josh was on Timcast yesterday, and we would like to be just as big or bigger than Timcast. You know, be a great
Give it a bump.
alternative to them.
Yeah, I don't know. The closed threshold is weird. The open threshold. Here, go. Talk into the mic. You talk.
Hello. Oh, me?
Yeah.
You want me? Josh actually wants me to talk, guys. This is like a breaking revelation for the show. Normally, he's telling me to shut up.
Talk some more.
This is what happens when Chat GPT
Stop-
is just
stop
randomly.
talking.
Okay.
Wait, this is a strange turn of events. He's telling AJ to shut up instead of me.
Keep talking.
Oh, God, I'm not used to being able to talk this long.
Stop talking. Hey, start talking.
Okay, homeschool your children. Let's start there. I mean, what do I?
I think we got rid of it.
Okay,
I think we
okay,
got rid
he's
of the
got
echo.
it. I'm not used to being put on the spot like that. It's
Oh.
weird. I normally just like jump in and autistically rant about
Yes,
something.
we're not
for
on the
30
focus
seconds.
right now. When you're speaking, we're not getting audio, so that's good. AJ, you speak now.
Check.
Yes, we're
1
good.
2.
I
Check
think,
1 2.
Let us know if we still have a bad echo in there. If we
All
do,
right.
we'll get it fixed. But I think we're better than where we were. So yeah, man, Timcast was insane. The man's got.
It was surreal.
They call it a castle, and it's a castle.
What?
It's legit. There's a skate park in the basement with a basketball court in the skate park, and then underneath the ramp, there's like a hidden video game dungeon underneath one of the ramps, which was really cool. And then there's like a whole like cool chill area with couches and TVs and a full bar and like drum sets and bass guitars and stuff. And then you go up 2 flights of stairs to get into the studio. There's like a whole nother house on the second floor
It's like a Willy Wonka house.
that I think Ian lives in. They have like 90 chickens in the backyard. They have like a whole chicken
Oh yeah,
city.
Chicken City.
Yeah, Chicken
Yep.
City.
I'm familiar.
Man, it was so cool. And like, you know, I've never met Tim in real life.
Yeah.
And I just see like chat comments and shit all the time. And man, he's just such a cool, down to earth, like cool guy. And he gets a lot of hate. And Ian
Yeah.
too gets a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
And like Ian's wrong about a lot of things, but I think that's the whole point of him being on the show. Is
Like
that
abortion.
He's supposed to be. Yeah, the after show was rough, but
It was real.
I think that's the whole point of it. Is that like we're supposed to have like a countering viewpoint, and that's what Ian's there for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like he gets a lot of hate because a lot of the audience is really conservative, and he's not. He's not a conservative. And
Well, you get to see guys disagree, have a little fight, like it gets a little heated, and then nobody goes to instant violence.
No.
Nobody pulls a gun. Nobody freaks out and leaves and rage quits. They just go, "Oh, okay, you're wrong about that," and then they move on to the next thing.
right. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about it.
and
Civilized
I mean,
debate.
Ian just talks about some of the most out of pocket shit. It's great.
He's like you, buddy.
You're the
I
Ian.
mean, yeah. Except I'm not wrong nearly as much.
You're wrong
I
quite
just talk
frequently on
about
the show, buddy.
I just talk about out of pocket shit.
I do. They fight like Tim and Ian definitely argue, and it gets pretty heated. And we don't really get that heated in here.
No,
No.
we don't get that heated.
But like you're like you guys are like family though. You know what I mean? Like you guys come over and hang out with my kids and eat dinner. Well, AJ, I've never seen AJ eat a single thing.
Nope.
In his life. I don't. Think
AJ subsists purely off of alcohol.
Yeah, just
they don't. I could be a
And
cyborg,
weed
and you guys have no idea. I could have infiltrated for months. I could just be a robot. You see me drink, but this just probably goes to a chamber somewhere.
Well,
Called a stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't act any different. Think about it.
No, I never seen you act different when you drink. I never see, but I've also never seen you like hammered. I just seen you after a couple of beers.
You should have came out with me last weekend.
Where'd you go?
Me and my buddy went out. I said I need to get out of the house, so we went to Koa Cantina downtown. Blazing Saddle was having a street party, so it was like a block past that. So we went and had some margaritas. Three margaritas was $48.
The Cadillac margarita.
Yeah, I got the bill. It was like almost $50, whatever. But so we had 3 margaritas. Then we left there and went to Cheap Seats on the east side.
I know Cheap Seats.
And had Jaeger bombs, and I was drinking whiskey.
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs were $4.50.
Oh.
So we had some Jaeger bombs. It was amazing. Yeah, that was like kind of my neighborhood bar on the east side. So we kind of ended up there. But we were pretty toasted.
Cheap Seats is I went there. I was briefly single when I lived in Iowa.
Oh yeah.
Julia and I, after I had moved here, had a brief falling out for about a month and a half. And the night that we had our falling out, I went to the Cheap Seats to meet up with my friend Craig Daughtry.
Yeah.
And I hung out there, and it was a cool little spot, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't drink almost ever anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
very
Well, you can
rare.
go there and not drink and have a great time.
Yeah, it's still fun. Yeah.
Just go sip a beer for an hour and just
Yeah.
people watch.
There's anytime we used to have an argument before, there was a little all-American sports bar on Douglas up the street from where we lived in Urbandale.
Yeah.
I could walk there.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I'm going for a walk.
Yep.
But I don't even do that anymore.
Yeah. It's a good neighborhood
Very
bar.
rare that I have a drink. Let's talk about Mitch McConnell, dude.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he froze up yesterday. We talked quite a bit about this on Timcast last night, but it was like very interesting what happened. They were asking him a question, and he just had a completely blank stare.
Yep.
And then the lady came up and said, "Mitch, do you hear what they're saying?" And he goes, "Yep."
Yeah, she re-asked him that rephrased the question, said it again, and then he said, well, I put it on I made a TikTok. It's on my Twitter, so you can see, if you haven't seen the footage, you can see my funny TikTok about it. But when he froze up and she came and asked him the question again, he said, kind of made like a murmur, and then just said "MK," and then just stood there and kind of froze again. And then if you watch the entire clip, he was gripping onto the lectern there. He would have fallen if she wasn't behind
There's
him.
no doubt.
She was holding his back.
He was holding
and he was
on
gripping
for
onto the
dear
lectern.
life,
Yes.
for
He
dear
was
life.
he was ready to collapse.
Yes. I mean, dear life. He was hanging on if you look close, his knuckles are white.
Yep.
Legitimately. And he's been going downhill for a long time. Of course, I attribute it all to the shortage of adrenochrome.
Yep.
Mhm.
There's no doubt.
Famously.
To me. It's like I've never seen politicians like this in my life until Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, these politicians are Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell and John Fetterman and all these people are like just losing their entire faculty. I'm like the baby blood well has grown dry.
Yep.
Fetterman, like he's a little different. Like I kind of understand it. He kind of got the Dem nomination and then had the streak. It was kind of too late to pull out.
Well,
so
and he
they
was
just
already
ran.
dim, so he was already kind of out there anyways. You know?
Yeah, so it was too late. The other ones are just like old as they're so old, and that's where the adrenochrome comes into play.
Yeah.
They can't keep propping them up.
Yeah, that's what helps them stay up. And I did attribute Joe Biden too. I mean, they both look like Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's. Like somebody's literally puppeting them around the stage.
They're puppets.
They look like Palpatine after he like used a ton of Force lightning, and he's like, "The attacks from the Jedi have left my body
I don't know.
weak and broken."
I mean, this is elder abuse at this point.
Well, I'm legit concerned we talked about this, before the show. I don't get like legit creeped out or freaked out about a lot of this stuff. I'm just concerned, and it makes me kind of, steal my will. But this is the second time he's done this, by the way. This isn't the first time. The first time was last week, I believe, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. This is the second.
It was
a month. Was it a month ago? Okay, I misspoke, but it was a while ago. But he did the same exact thing, and nothing happened then. I freaked out. He did this a second time. It's on live television.
And this is after he fell and hit his head, by the way, too, because he fell.
Yes.
After this, that first incident, he had a fall.
Oh, he did.
And hit his head, and it got a concussion. And at 80 years old, when you fall and get a concussion,
you're done.
There's not much coming back from that. Like, your brain doesn't heal like it used to. There's no elasticity left in your brain.
So it's obvious that he's compromised. It's obvious that he can't fulfill the duties that he's been sworn into office to do.
Right.
So I'm looking for an action to happen, and there is no action. There's inaction, and I'm very concerned about that. This is a bad symptom of our federal government right now. When someone is obviously compromised, we talk about Joe Biden all the time.
They don't want to lose.
He's compromised, obviously. They don't want to lose the power, but Mitch McConnell, it's inaction. They're not doing anything about it. And now I heard, I didn't see what news source it was, but he's medically cleared. I heard he was medically cleared today.
Well, how long do you think Ruth Bader Ginsburg was actually dead?
Yeah.
They announced it?
Exactly.
Like, that's what I want to know, because we didn't see, she was gone.
Yeah.
We didn't see her anymore. They just kept talking about how her health was declining, but she was gone. And I'm sure she had been gone for a while before they announced it, because listen, losing a political seat in like the Senate or or Congress is a big deal. Losing a seat on the Supreme Court justice
huge
is insane, because those are like lifelong appointments, dude.
Yeah. I think the timing on Bader Ginsburg's was like right in the middle of Trump's
they were
presidency.
trying to hold out.
I don't think they could have held that information for so long that it would have been relevant.
There's no doubt that they were trying, though. Zero doubt in my mind.
Yeah, but you got to tell family. It was probably no more than a week before family leaked it to the press or something like that.
I'm dying. Hold on. Choking.
Yeah.
Choking on my own spit.
How long? Well, is Epstein dead? It's the conversation I had with someone.
I don't know.
I had a conversation at a dealership, had my car fixed, and had a conversation with my service advisor about that. Yep. And he said he doesn't believe that Epstein is dead. He thinks he's been spirited away and he's living somewhere.
Well,
he's fine
too. Yeah.
He goes. Did we ever see a body? And I'm like, okay, good point.
They did show a body.
Yeah, I mean,
but
they showed a body.
There was a full autopsy report that showed
like the one on
that
Kennedy.
that the damage to his neck really wasn't substantial enough to hang himself.
Yeah, it didn't look like a hanging for sure. And then, but there was also like people were like tracing his earlobes, and they were different, and his nose structure looked different, and all that too. I don't know. If you saw
but that can be camera. That can be weird.
Yeah, but you don't have to go that far with that conspiracy theory at all. The cameras were suspiciously turned off.
Yes.
The footage is gone, and the guards were napping.
Right, sure.
The guards were napping,
and he was on suicide watch.
And he was on suicide watch. So you don't have to do a conspiracy theory. You can go, okay, well, that was either extreme incompetence or,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that Epstein didn't kill himself. I know that much is for sure.
Yeah. Only met one person who believes that Epstein killed himself.
Donald Trump?
My grandfather.
Donald Trump literally said the other day.
I've never met Donald Trump.
He literally did say, Trump did say, yeah, I think it's probably likely that he killed himself.
Yes.
In an interview.
Yes. Can I clarify that?
I was like, you dumb motherfucker.
I know. Let me give him like kind of a window there. Okay. And this is, I'm also leaving like a 5% chance for this as well. Or was he under intense pressure? Obviously he had dirt on how many people, right? Did he just say, I'm done. I don't want any more of this. I've been in here for, however long he was.
6 hours.
And whatever, a day, a week. I'm done. I can't handle this. I'm going to kill myself, but I want to be able to do it and make sure it's complete. And did he do that? Did he have enough pull from the inside to give himself a window to do it himself? Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, he's probably murdered.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
There's a big ass
that
dude in his
he would
room.
kill himself.
They put a big ass dude in his room.
Yeah,
He was a cop killer.
Something happened for sure, dude. And you know why he was killed. I mean, listen. This dude had more dirt on the rich and elite, powerful people around the world than any other person in the world, dude. I mean, no doubt he had a collection of dirt on some of the names that you hear every day, right? Politicians and monarchs and actors and musicians and just everything you could think of. And it, you know, when I get into my real deep conspiracy mind, my Alex Jones mind, as I like to call it, which, let's be honest, if we
he's 90% true.
If we had an Alex Jones with right jar, it'd be full of money right now. Okay, but I do want to say, like, when I start to really think about that, I start to think about, like, is this selling your soul? Is this what you have to do to become a rich, powerful, elite person in the United States? Okay. Did you have to visit Jeffrey Epstein's island and do dumb, bad, scary, disgusting things and document them so that if you ever got out of line with the narrative, they could wreck you? Because, you know, occasionally they wreck somebody and a name comes out. And every time one of those names comes out, Spacey, those kinds of people, every time one of those names comes out, they were on the flight logs, dude.
Yeah.
Every single time they were on the flight logs. And so it's like, was this selling your soul? Was this what that was? Was this how you got your rich, powerful, elite name in the world? Was by doing these horrible things, documented. And Jeffrey Epstein was the guy that was like, all right, if you step out of line, we got you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think it was obviously I think it was an intelligence gathering operation on that island.
No doubt.
But do you think it was just CIA, or was this like, could this have been like the Saudis?
I think it goes a lot deeper than just the CIA. I think Epstein, because we're talking about English monarchs, dude.
Yeah.
Like legit English monarchs and people from the, you know, princes.
I just remember the look of the place. The look had
czars from the Middle East. And
the look had a Middle Eastern look to it, didn't it?
Yeah. But I'm saying I'm talking this goes, you know, we think about, so, you know, we talk about the deep state and the rich elite and stuff like that, and then the shadow government, right? Like that's a name that we talk about, right? Like the shadow government. Like the shadow government is not a government at all. It's like rich, powerful, elite people that pull the strings, right? They're the ones that are send the lobbyists in. I mean, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about, like I said, oil czars and you know, people who own big multi-billion-dollar production companies and
people that can shut down pipelines.
Yeah, people that could shut down pipelines. Exactly. Yeah. And so, like, those are the people that you are probably pledging allegiance to when you're getting into these positions. Not the federal government. They're just the like puppet, right? Yeah. At the end of the day. And anybody who critically thinks about these things, I mean, seriously, if you sit down and critically think about the way our government works and the way that these big, rich, powerful, elite people are the ones that lobby the government for protections and incentives and subsidies and all this stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very easy conclusion to come to the fact that it's not the government that's controlling the government. It's the people above the government.
Yeah, I believe that.
And then a bunch of people within the government that actually kind of have some control are all unelected bureaucrats.
Exactly, all the time.
They're the OSHA, FDA, ATF.
Yeah, the unelected bureaucracies are the ones who enforce everything.
Yeah,
I mean, all the time.
And they help write up the legislation and meet with lobbyists and do all sorts of crazy shit.
Right.
They run all sorts of things and have all sorts of influence, because when a president gets in there, the agencies get to tell the president their story of what they do to the president. It would take a lot of digging to uncover what they actually do.
Yeah. It's nuts, dude. And there is a deep state. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care if anybody's like, "Oh, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist." Yeah, but like, come on, man. How many times do the conspiracy theorists have to be right before you go, you know, maybe I'm the conspiracy theorist? You know what I mean? Like, when do you finally sit down and go, maybe I'm the one making up wild conspiracies that these people aren't doing bad things?
Yeah.
Like, how many times does it have to happen? How many declassified documents from the CIA do you need to see to believe that they do all kinds of bad shit? How many would it take?
They would have to look at one. Most people aren't looking at declassified CIA documents.
Right.
Sean Ryan, the Sean Ryan show. You guys familiar with that show?
Yeah, I'm trying to get on it right now.
Okay.
In fact,
He's
I got
awesome.
an email back yesterday. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
Excellent. It'd be an awesome chance to get on there. So he's an ex-SEAL. He recently had a SF guy, Tony Cowden, 2-parter, like 6-hour thing. I'm halfway through it.
Yeah, I've been watching.
So I'm watching an ex-SF operator talking with an ex-SEAL, and they're legit now, like in their 40s, and they're asking each other, "Are we the bad guys?"
Yeah.
This is in part one of Tony Cowden. Yep.
Specifically,
He goes, "Are we the bad guys?" If you zoom out 60,000 feet and look down, and you look at what's going on in the Middle East and things that go on around the world,
we look like the bad guys.
are we the bad guys?
I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah.
Legitimately, and it's hard to argue that we're not the bad guys now. I mean, it's really hard to argue that, dude. If you look at all the constant destabilization of nations and the like coups that we run around the world, and the fact that we're constantly like pulling dictators out and installing our own
that's what he's talking about with Iraq.
Dictators, and these wars over resources. Like, first of all, you can't be the good guy if you go to war over a resource in somebody else's country. I'm sorry, period, plain and simple.
Especially when you are the country with the most abundant resources in human history, and it's not close.
And you've got a moratorium on even like mining or drilling or any of those things to use your own resources.
Yes.
Because your country is so bad that they want to use up all the resources of other countries before they even think about touching their resources. And I got into this last night with the Taiwan China thing, right?
Yep.
Like, because somebody came on Timcast's show, like comments after the show, and this long diatribe about how I was lying about working at a place that made robots for the semiconductors. And I'm like, no, dude, I worked at Celestica in Portland. They literally made the Lamb robots that make semiconductors, dude. We had a 60,000 square foot clean room. Yeah, I had to go in.
Yeah.
I was a facilities maintenance guy, right? Like, I was the director of the maintenance, and I had to go in and make sure that we had the right parts per million for particles in there and everything, because they built these fucking robots that made semiconductors, and then they shipped them overseas.
Yeah,
and they made the semiconductors over there. So you can't tell me that we can't make them here, because we literally make the fucking robots here.
Yes.
Okay?
It's a money thing. It's because it's cheaper to do it in Taiwan.
It's not just that either. I think that there's other, these contracts are really heavily favor the business people that are here that are taking in the conductors, but also they don't want to mine for the resources that it takes, this cobalt and stuff like that, which, by the way, we already fucking mine for here.
Yep.
Cobalt and silica, and there's some other things too.
Lithium.
Yep. We have those here. In fact, we have such a large abundance of those here that but they're only allowed to do, like, I don't know, 330,000 tons or something of cobalt a year or something like that. So like for somebody to be like, "Oh, you're a liar," like in the chat, not in the chat, but in the comments after the show, that guy's a liar. No, I'm not. I know for a fact, like, I'm not going to lie about working in a factory that made the robots that create semiconductors. How am I going to lie about that? That's
kind of a random lie.
Random ass lie to tell on like one of the biggest shows in the fucking country.
Like, no one can vet that.
Yeah, no one's going to be able to vet that. No, dude, it's on my resume. It literally says right there, Celestica facilities. We build the robots that make the fucking semiconductors. I know that. And then somebody else went off about how AMD can't do it and this and that. And I'm like, okay, look, I don't give a shit who does it. I don't care if it's Intel or AMD or anybody else. But I know, without a doubt, that we have the capacity to make those chips here in the United States.
Yeah. Well, they talk about it all the time. If you listen, we could buy they're like, Chinese labor and it's a communist China. Okay. If you bought an American iPhone, it'd be $2,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Right. Like, of course we can do it here. Do you want to pay $2,500 for your iPhone? Because nobody wants to. They're used to paying $1,000.
Instead, you'll pay $3 trillion in a war.
Right. Exactly.
And that's and I talked about it with Taiwan. It's just a tripwire, dude. That's all it is. It's a tripwire for war with fucking China. And I had this conversation. Like, I didn't get the opportunity to talk as much about this kind of stuff as I wanted to on Timcast. So I'm glad that we're doing it now. But I had like a whole prep conversation with Scott Horton, like a couple days before, and then right before I left for the airport. Right. And he even said it. He's like it's just a tripwire, dude. That's all it is. There's no reason we can't make them here. But even further, it's like there's only two outcomes to war or to going over there and protecting Taiwan, right? A, we go over there, we protect Taiwan, we get a carrier blown up and sunk, maybe two. We can't get submarines through the Straits of Taiwan. We can't get them. It's too shallow. They won't. It will not work. Listen, Taiwan is 7,000 miles away from our coast, and it's 90 miles away from the coast of China. Okay.
Yeah.
We will lose a war there. There's been like all kinds of war game models run around this, and we lose every time.
What if we arm Taiwan?
I mean, we're doing it to Ukraine.
Well, Vivek threw out what I thought was possibly like a libertarian Easter egg during the debates.
Yeah.
He said, what if we make Taiwan a porcupine? What if we Arm the people of Taiwan so that we don't directly get involved in a Taiwanese-Chinese conflict?
Arming Taiwan.
We arm Taiwan, we train them, literally.
We're still going to have conflict with China.
Person to person. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But that was just an option he explored.
In Afghanistan as well.
They turned against us.
Yeah.
We armed and
Let's
trained.
arm everyone in Afghanistan so there's peace.
We did this so many times, though, in the Middle East, not just Afghanistan.
Yeah,
we armed so many terrorist groups that ended up being our enemies. Like,
what's the Malice quote? I just want the right to own the same firearms that my money purchased for the Taliban.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, and they keep calling me a domestic terrorist online and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. So when are the FBI and the CIA and all these people going to send me my Toyota Hilux and my 50 caliber gun mount for the back of my Toyota? When are they going to send me those? I want them. I don't know.
We got a couple of super chats. Want to go over those?
Yeah, well, we got Infinite Zeal Syndicate, the homie. What's up? He gave us fire. Gave us flames. Thanks for the $10 super chat. And of course, my good friend Rob gave us $5 super chat. He said World War III pops off and China invades the U.S. from the West Coast and Russia from the East Coast. Would you rather be in the hills of West Virginia or the plains of Iowa? Hills of West Virginia for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, I want the plains. I want the plains.
You're an Iowa boy.
I want the long distance with flat land where I can see you from a long ways away.
I want Iowa because there's not a chance they'll ever make it here. It's like even if they have the resources, will they even give a fuck?
Well, so
they won't get past South Chicago
unless they come in through the South. They're not getting to Iowa,
dude. They're not coming through the South. Let me guarantee you this. They're not coming through the South.
To get to Iowa, here's the thing about getting to Iowa, and I want to make this very clear. If you're coming from the West Coast, you got to get over the Rockies. You got first
Canada,
no, but Canada's covered in mountains at the border too,
dude.
But here's the thing:
there's no resistance.
If you're coming through Canada, you got the Rockies. If you're coming from the West Coast, you have the Sierra Nevadas and then the Rockies.
Yeah.
If you're coming from the East Coast, you have the Appalachia and all the Smoky Mountains and all that stuff. And if you come through the South, you got to deal with Southerners. But if you're coming up,
there's just going to be shotgun shells in the ground, just bodies.
But if you're coming to Iowa from the South, you got to go through the Ozarks.
Ooh,
which is brutal too. So like it is an interesting thought experiment because it would be hard to get to Iowa from anywhere. Yeah. And I know that they do have a storage here for some kind of
ICBMs. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, ballistic nukes here in Iowa. So
we're nuked,
which is smart because it's hard to traverse.
And what's the Air Force base we have in Omaha?
Oh, that's the big one. That's the one where they brought the fucking. That's where they gave us COVID at. Do you know that?
Oh, SAC.
That's where they brought us COVID at. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They brought those all those people from the cruise ship. They brought them right into Omaha and flew them into that Air Force base.
I think it's SAC Air Force Base.
I remember because I was there.
Dude.
I was in Nebraska when that plane flew in. If you can believe that, I was there for the Nebraska State Convention, but it was in Lincoln. But I flew into Omaha and then drove over to Lincoln. And it was the same day that plane came there, and I'm like, yeah, they're bringing us COVID for sure. There's
what a lovely gift.
Have you ever seen an Air Force or a military branch pick up sick people and fly them from the coast to the middle of the fucking country? No, dude. There was something weird going on there. Very weird. Very weird.
Ship them around. Spread it around.
No doubt. So we got to talk about kids and backpacks.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Dude. So Phil came at it from a pretty crazy perspective. I heard one perspective that was, well, why are kids wearing political shit to school anyways? Just kind of it makes sense.
Political?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
We want our kids. If you're going to go to school, we want our kids to learn math and resources for life, and not really have to worry about these political aspects. But Bill was like, the problem isn't that the lady's doing that. The problem is that we've let it get this far. Like the fact that she even felt comfortable saying that to a kid and his family means that we've let the public education system go so long unchecked that it wasn't even like out of the normal for her. We're watching it on the internet going, that lady's insane. And their policies are insane. But the truth of the matter is we've let it go so far. We've let it go so far that it was totally normal for her and the other educators and all the other staff and administrators there to say, you can't wear that. It has something to do with slavery. No, it doesn't, bitch. No, it does not.
No. We had Tinker versus Des Moines. That was a very famous case in Des Moines. It's a black armband during the Vietnam War. So a kid wears a black armband into school and they go, get that out of here, whatever. And fought it and won. It was a very, very important First Amendment case. Tinker versus Des Moines. Googled it. But this was, I felt like it was the same thing. It was not, and he's not even protesting anything. It was just this is like a revolutionary, flag, war flag, Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where did the slavery thing come from? Where did she even get that?
I don't know.
I never even found out.
I did see,
she made it the fuck up.
Yeah,
possibly.
It came to her in a dream. I mean, no, you know what's funny is that stupid fucking Twitter account Gold Wedge Group that we're pretty sure Nick Sarwark runs. Have you ever seen that one?
Oh no,
you haven't seen that one?
Oh,
I saw. I've seen some of that. There was some absolutely brain dead take it had today.
Yeah, he's big
Gold Wedge Group.
Yeah, go look it up. It's so
I'm gonna
bad.
go get it right now.
He posted the Gadsden flag and said, yes, Gadsden owns slaves, and so this does have something to do with slaves. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. Everybody had slaves back then.
Oh my
it's about the
God.
Revolutionary War, you dumb shit.
Gold Wedge Group.
Hey,
got it.
I think he followed it up like with I support the real libertarian flag, and it was like the American flag, and it's like, come on, you think America's hands are clean?
Yeah.
Like the Gadsden flag is way cleaner than
No doubt.
being like tangentially
He used
parallel
the big word,
with
folks.
slavery.
He used the big word, folks. And it,
Yep.
And now, I
Calm
Loading.
down, Mitch McConnell.
Loading.
Yeah, sorry.
Loading.
yeah.
Like,
Tangentially associated with slavery.
Shit, what do I
I
say
knew the
next?
word I wanted. I knew what I wanted to say, and then my brain wouldn't let me say it. But yeah,
he used the
I
big
was
word.
going off.
He used the big word, and then,
Yeah, but we're facilitating a genocide in Yemen right now. But the guy that designed a flag owned slaves, and that's way
nerdy
worse.
Libertarians that brings up some shit like Yemen.
There were so many Tim Pool's comments. I was like, I'm glad libertarians don't get let on this stage because they'll talk about shit like Yemen.
Yeah,
and I was like, really?
Like, what a dumb thing to
Really?
say. Yeah, it's only like the humanitarian crisis of our generation,
Mhm.
and you're like, I'm really glad the libertarians don't make it on the debate stage because they bring up dumb shit like Yemen. Like, what is wrong
Wow.
with you?
The other thing,
Wow.
like, so he was like Yemen and like people being arrested for felonies, obviously talking about drug crime.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it's like, what? I can understand people being annoyed with that. Like, drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. Whatever. If you get annoyed by that, okay. But talking
Yemen?
about the genocide of innocent people, you're like,
Children, innocent children.
Yeah.
Majority of the people dying of starvation over there are children.
yeah, you're just like, how dare they? Like,
And it's
I
totally-
was having
we totally
a
had a
nice
part of
day.
that.
TJ Hawkinson just signed his extension, and now they're making me all sad because the people I voted for are starving children.
It's gotta be pretty brutal finding things that are sadder than being a Minnesota Vikings fan, dude.
Yeah, it is. Like,
That
I
hurt.
want the Vikings to be
That
the
hurt.
saddest thing in my life, and it's not.
Do you like football, AJ?
I don't follow it honestly.
not at
Yeah,
all.
but I'm a Vikings guy.
You are a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
too.
He's
Fuck, I got
he's
two
gonna help me
Vikings.
with I've got a pool at work, and I'm gonna get help from Ryan.
Oh, absolutely.
I need
For
an
football?
autist help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Football?
Yes.
You don't want Ryan's help.
Oh, yeah, you
want
do.
my-
No, I need like the guy that's just numbers and there's pins and yarn.
Oh,
on a
yeah, that's
whiteboard.
me.
I need that's what I need.
I'm better.
We're just picking
I'm
teams.
better at football than he is.
Well, we're just picking. We're picking
I
one team
predicted
each
the
week.
Hawkinson.
he's
Here.
better. He's better with basketball than I am, but I'm definitely better than at football than he is.
Well, we're just picking our team each week. We have a backup, obviously,
That's
but
gonna win.
Oh,
we're just picking a win each
Yeah,
week.
I'm way better than he is.
Okay,
No doubt.
all right, we'll see. We will see.
you have no idea the depths of my
The
football
only thing you
obsession.
can't trust me on when I pick winners in football is Cowboys games.
Cowboys
because
bias.
I'm always
Yep.
I am always going to tell you
Cowboys
the Cowboys
bias.
are going to win because I'm a Cowboys fan. That's how
Yeah.
we have to be that way. It's
Well-
Raiders fans do the same
Okay.
thing, and they're the freaking Raiders.
What would your strategy be for a pool like that?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Like you got to pick a
I've got
winner
to have the
every
most
week.
wins. It doesn't matter the team, regardless of team.
Yeah.
So I have to pick a for sure win every time.
My
So
strategy would be to
we can look at the odds.
look at the historical stats of the team and the players, and figure out which team is going to be where, and which team has a stronger defense, and which team has a stronger offense, and who's winning with special teams. I look up all the stats, so like I'd be able to put it together and figure out. Who's gonna win.
But yeah, this is AJ. I can give you a simple strategy. Find the couple of teams that are going to be really bad, and then pick the teams playing them.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm assuming you
Okay.
can't choose the same
Enough
team like
football.
every
What are we
week.
talking about next?
Well, you could. You
Could? Oh.
Well, just the teams that are playing that week. You pick one team.
Oh,
That
okay.
one, you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever. I've got the Colts, so I pick the Colts to win that week. Next week, I pick the Ravens are going to win that week. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Every time I've done a league,
Really? I'm going to screenshot the rules tomorrow, and we will have an update for you next week.
all right.
Let's talk about the buses.
Ah.
Kentucky's first day of school. Everybody, all the parents listening, if anybody doesn't have kids, you can go to bed now. But if you have kids, first day of school, most kids in the U.S. was last Wednesday,
Yep.
right? So first day of school in Kentucky, they got the last kid home at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
off the bus.
That's crazy.
So they had they were at shortage of bus drivers. Obviously some incompetence and probably affirmative action hiring going on in there somewhere too. The
Definitely
diversity,
for sure.
inclusion, and equity.
Yeah.
DIE spells die. If you want your society to die, DIE. So that's probably mostly responsible for this, and probably the COVID, all the old drivers quit and whatever you want to call it. But there was a route for 8 different schools on 1 or 2 buses. So the route was completely clusterfucked, and some kids didn't get home until 10 p.m.
I'd be pissed.
School got out at like 2 something.
Yeah.
Keep in mind.
Yeah. I'd be
So they
pissed.
waited at the school for hours, and then finally their bus shows up, and then they're on a bus for like 3 hours.
I'd
So they
be
showed a
pissed.
video of a girl running off, she's screaming and
Why would
obviously
they do that?
terrorized.
Yeah.
Imagine being on a school bus for 4 hours.
Yeah. Have you ever seen which Freddy is it that they bus that goes in fire?
Oh,
The part
I don't
3,
I
or
don't
part
remember.
2 maybe. Oh, that was a brutal scene, dude. You remember the scene?
I
that I'm talking about?
remember the scene
Freddy's
right now.
on the bus.
I'm just laughing but the violence was so over the top in that
oh
fucking
yeah,
movie.
all the Freddys.
Oh my god, it's
Freddy's,
great.
Freddy's my favorite horror franchise of all time. There's no doubt about it.
You get stabbed by a claw, and then you're like on the ceiling and just flying around.
That was number 1.
That was crazy.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
scene.
that scene, I was like,
And then
Uh,
for the rest of the movie, that same girl's being dragged around randomly with nobody dragging her in a body bag.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, dude.
yeah,
It's funny because you could tell that with Nightmare on Elm Street, they wanted to start it off. They wanted it to be like a horrifying movie with number 1,
yes,
and then they realized the success of like cheesy
yes,
Robert Englund
yes.
and Freddy, and they got like funnier and like more over the top as they went
Yeah.
along, and they were just like, it was perfect. It was the best horror franchise of all time. I don't care what anybody
Great
says.
series.
Huh?
Great series.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I mean, the OGs, Jason, Mike Myers. I mean, you can't beat those, man. In my opinion, they're forever the classics. You'll never look at horror movies like that
So great.
ever. You can't tell me that like these weird supernatural movies that they keep making the same fucking movie over and over and over again with different names.
No,
The
it's not.
Exorcist of blah blah blah.
They'll never make a Freddy Krueger
No,
movie.
there'll never be another
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger.
my wife was showing me the Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah, it's just another damn exorcism movie. I will watch that because I like Russell Crowe. But,
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Yeah.
She just kept calling it The Exorcist, and I was like, honey, I don't think you want to watch The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You will have nightmares for
The
years.
original Exorcist is terrifying.
I haven't ever seen it, and
You've
I
never
don't
seen it?
I don't really want
It's still
to.
terrifying. You should watch
Yeah.
it. It's a classic. It will fuck you up for a couple days though. And it's probably not now because it's not like the graphics are not what they are now.
No, they should
I think
redo
I've
it.
seen little
Well, they
bits.
did
of The
redo it.
They
Exorcist.
are redoing it right now. They're remaking a new.
Yeah,
They need to redo the redo.
Yeah.
The Exorcist
Oh,
is going
shit.
to be trans.
Yeah. Trans Exorcist.
They'll scare out the demon with a drag performance.
Oh.
Trans Exorcist.
Oh my god. They will listen. We
The
had to make it
Dixorcist?
inclusive. So.
Oh, dude, and just like do something real weird with the cheese blintz, you know, like have the, like have the fake, yeah, like have
Draw
the fake
s-
dick and the scars and stuff, and then like the dick, like oh, they can
Have a
all kinds of
summoning
weird stuff.
circle, and all the points are dildos.
Now I'm gonna have to put the parental advisory on this shit. On this
Oh, I'm
episode.
sorry.
Damn it.
Oh man.
No, but that would be it would be interesting to see how they would have to diversify the Exorcist to make it more inclusive. Like, yeah, well, what about trans black people who are possessed, huh? You ever
Yeah.
think about that?
Yeah.
Why's it got to be a little white girl?
Trans exorcist
They
trans
bring in
albino
black
exorcist.
Stephen Hawking to try and explain it at the start before they get like the Exorcist. That's like the doctor they bring in.
Like, how? Oh my goodness, is your church all inclusive? You can't come and do the exorcism of my
Right.
daughter if your church does not
Right.
allow.
Before you come in,
diversity.
he's got the cross and then like a pride patch
it's cool. It's
right
cool.
there,
It's cool.
and a
I'm here to
Ukraine
add-
flag
Yeah.
on the other
the
side.
Ukraine flag has a little red like cross through it, and Mom's like, "What the fuck? You can't do that here."
They make it so
Jay
the
Thoreau
demon
says
is
less
speaking
dildos, more
only
campaign
in
strategy
Russian.
talk. I am not doing. We could talk a little bit about my campaign, but I have made a pact to not make Break the Cycle about my campaign. It's not what I want.
Agree.
I don't want it to be all about my campaign. We had a whole show about it already.
If you want campaign questions answered on Break the Cycle, super chat them.
Yeah, you got to super chat them.
Yeah.
I'm fine with telling you guys. You know, the strategy right now is to hit up all the big podcasters, and a delegate and delegate allocation is our big focus because
That's smart.
we can be the best campaign in the whole entire world. If the 1,200 delegates that show up to the national convention next May are not my delegates, then we won't be in the general. So that's the biggest thing. Is if you're willing to be a delegate and show up to your state convention and get voted in as a delegate, do that so that you can get to the national convention and be a delegate and vote. Otherwise, it'll be Chase Oliver. He'll be the gay exorcist.
Or the one
Being
doctor dude that the Mises Caucus might be running.
Michael Rechtenwald.
That 8 years ago was a staunch Democrat
That turned to
and then was a Trump supporter and now is somehow a staunch
political
libertarian.
grifting, my friend. But he
Yeah, I saw a Republican registration card too,
he's
right?
still
Oh, yeah.
registered Republican. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you, dude? You gotta give me. Listen, work with me here.
Can he
Okay.
even run for the Libertarian?
Yes, as a
ticket?
registered Republican voter, he can, as long as he's a member of the state and national party. But work with me here, dude. Okay, listen, I get it. The board of the Mises Caucus does not want me to be the candidate. I don't know why. We already have the momentum. We already have a ton of the Mises Caucus people behind us. And Rechtenwald is great. Rechtenwald is great on academics. He's very good on the Great Reset. He's really good and hyper focused on that stuff, right? And he's really good at what he does. But if you've heard him publicly speak, he's not exciting. He's not at all exciting. He's not going to want to debate with me. He might be smarter than me, but he's not going to want to be in a debate because I go hard. You know what I mean? And I try to make people laugh in debate because that's what gets people on your side, right? And like, I love academics. It's the same with Hornberger, dude. Like, I love Hornberger. Hornberger's very intelligent. He's right on a lot of the issues. He's not like a particularly exciting candidate though. And he's not going to get like light a fire under a bunch of people. It's like great, you love Hoppe. I like Hoppe too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like, but like the way that you lecture and your academic like style is only going to appeal to the Hoppians. It's not going to appeal outside of that. And we have to think about who we're going to appeal to outside of the national convention, because that's how we're going to get people on our side. That's how we're going to become a national major political party. That's how we're going to get over 5%. I mean, it's really, really important, man. And we have a lot of the Mises Caucus support already. I mean, there's whole states that are going to support me over whoever the caucus throws up, if it's not Dave Smith.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be Dave Smith.
It's not Dave Smith.
So-
Spike is out.
I
hear,
can get the caucus to support me over Spike. I know that. Maybe not the board of the caucus, but the caucus members. And people forget, like, before we had a Dave Smith or a Tom Woods or any of that stuff, like, I was the guy going around the country, like, getting us members for the caucus. So, like, a lot of the old school caucus guys are my homies that I helped get join the party. You know, they don't forget that stuff. Maybe some of the new members don't know that, but I was the guy, man. We had like 50 guys in a Facebook group, and that was it. And I went around the country. I went to 32 states in 2017 and 2018 and got us members. I put the target on the back. So we just got to show up. That's it. That's the biggest strategy right now is I'm going to travel as much as I can, get on as many of the big shows as I can so that we make our name for ourselves outside of the party.
Yep.
But we have to work on delegates now. Right now. We got less than a year. We need 15 to 30 delegates in every single state. Every state. And some of them don't have that many. But, you know, Texas has 78 and Florida has 72 or something, and California has 109. Like, we need like half of those delegations at least. We're going to have to get 51% of the delegates on our side to get the nomination.
Ryan,
That's how it works.
Yeah,
are we going to DC?
probably.
Yeah, we're going to do.
Sick.
I'll start budgeting for it.
If I have the 15 passenger van by then for the campaign, you guys can just ride with the fam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I can say it right now. I know this is very early, but I don't plan on participating in anything that could be described as seditious conspiracy against the United States government.
In DC.
I just want to say that publicly. Yeah, I have no intention of committing seditious conspiracies.
Well,
But you know who determines what is seditious conspiracy?
Who's that, Ryan?
Not you.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Because I'll tell you what, man, my presidential
Shit.
campaign, my campaign, if these people put me in the general, there is not a doubt in my mind that the Democrats are going to say he's trying to commit seditious insurrection with his campaign. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say that I'm an extremist. They're going to say all kinds of things about me. But guess what, bud? I've been through this shit for a lot of years. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, I don't care what people like call me and say about me anymore. Like, I used to be so fragile about it. Like, in the beginning of my first national campaign in 2017, I was fragile. I fought everybody. I argued all the time. Now I'll just call you a nerd and keep moving. Like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like, I've gone up against the SPLC already and the ADL.
Yep.
Like, they've had me in their magazines, man. Like, I don't care. Like, nobody scares me like that anymore. I'm more scared that somehow we're going to reignite the Ron Paul revolution to the point of where that you guys actually vote me into the White House, and then the CIA is going to take me out. You know?
Yeah, we'll keep the vote count just below.
No, listen,
keep
if you
you
guys,
safe.
if we get to a point in America where I can win, just put me in, dude, because I'm going to go in there and start, I'll slash as much as I can before they take me down the parade street in Dallas. You know what I mean? I will.
Grassy.
Yeah.
I
won't be taking any rides in convertibles.
We want to take you to Ukraine to show you the battlefield.
And you know, there was people last night in the Tim Pool chat, like in the live chat, they were like, "This guy isn't serious." Yeah, I'm the most serious candidate.
Yeah.
I'm the most serious candidate. Like, I get it. I'm just a blue collar working class guy, right? And somebody said that on one of our videos on our channel that came from Timcast.
Yeah.
Big long comment about how you're not even, nobody wants somebody who doesn't know how to run a multinational big corporation. And I'm like, bitch, you want somebody who's never lived your life, never had to deal with your problems, go and run the country. No, dude, you want somebody who knows exactly what's hurting Americans to go in there and run the country. And if that means, and it's not that I'm not smart enough to run a big corporation, I could do it. I know how to do it. I already know how to do it. I don't have the financial backing to do it. I came from nothing, and I've built quite a nice life for myself and my family. But like, Like, you want the person that's so disconnected from your reality to be the person that's dictating your rules? Fuck no.
That's a person that doesn't have control of their own life.
Yeah.
If they were left to their own devices, they wouldn't know what to do. They don't know how to control themselves. So they need someone else to do it for them. They need to follow a set of rules someone's laid out in front of them.
Well,
And if
That's-
only
that's-
there were
and listen, I think we should
religious
put.
frameworks.
I think we need to put an olive branch out to some of those people. But I think it was maybe on the Timcast show. Oh, maybe that was you. yeah. You're like zero communism. Like zero.
No,
like,
I said
you could just say no
I
to
said
people.
in a libertarian society, we cannot suffer communism.
Right,
They will
right.
have to be physically removed. Yes.
Right. So I think Ian maybe was talking about putting an olive branch out to people and like, well, maybe you can have to, or the younger guy. Who was the younger guy on there?
That's
He was
their
basically
producer.
saying, are you going to turn Democrats to libertarian? And you're like, no, not
No.
really.
Oh yeah, it was really funny because he just stopped.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not going
Yeah,
after
no.
Democrats. Democrats don't like me. They're not ever going to like libertarian values and ideals. They're the direct opposite of what libertarians want. They want full governmental control. They want the highest taxes. They're constantly pushing for wars. Like they love the Federal Reserve, even though it's making it so they can't buy homes anymore. Like you can't tell me that we're supposed to go after the Democrats of all people. No, any libertarian that's telling you, oh, I'm here to turn the Democrats is probably Chase Oliver.
Yes.
Okay. And Chase Oliver, I saw some people posting today. Chase Oliver, or it was Jenny Cadell, dude.
Oh, here we go.
It's Jenny
Here
Cadell
we go.
saying, I firmly believe that Chase Oliver can get 5% in the. And I couldn't help but laugh because, like, look, dude, I've met Chase in person and I've had lunch with Chase and stuff. He's a nice guy.
He is.
He's a really nice guy. But I'll tell you what,
Cool dude.
Chase appeals to people that are voting Democrat.
Absolutely.
Period.
This is correct.
Period. And if you're a libertarian that appeals to people that vote Democrat, no one's voting for you.
Mhm.
We learned that with Joe Jorgensen.
Yep.
Joe Jorgensen got 1.3% of the vote. That was a 2% drop from Gary Johnson.
Yep.
Who was not some crazy great wild candidate that ignited a huge flame under people's butts.
Yep.
Okay. But Gary Johnson appealed to the moderate, never Trump Republicans. That's who he appealed to. That's why he got 3.3%. That's why he was 1.7% away from making us a national political party. You know who I appeal to? I appeal to the 49% of the people that don't like either of them.
Yep.
I appeal to the blue collar, working class people that felt the sting of COVID mandates for the last 3 years. I am the vengeance. I am the vengeance vote. There isn't a better vote in America to give the finger to the American establishment than a vote for me. It doesn't matter if I'm running Green Party. It doesn't matter if I'm running Libertarian. It doesn't matter if I'm independent. It doesn't matter if I'm running Republican or Democrat. My policies are geared towards giving the middle finger to the establishment and the status quo. That's it. And I'm the only candidate that's doing that. And you know what? I mean it. I mean it. That's the other thing too, right? When you call me not a serious candidate, so you believe the guys that go on these huge campaigns and tell you all these things they're going to do that have already been in office and not done the things they told you they were going to do.
Yep.
You're going to tell me that those are the serious candidates? Those guys that sold you the snake oil? Right? Those are the guys that are professional and trustworthy and serious? No, it's the guy telling you he's going to bulldoze the ATF building and build a dog park. That's the serious guy. Because guess what? I'll do the shit. Because I don't care. Like I'm not here to be like, oh yeah, man. I was just kidding about the dog park thing. No, dude, I really want to see dogs playing on the ashes of an ATF building. Like that would be a beautiful thing.
I haven't heard that before. That's awesome.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see.
That's awesome.
And I mean that. And I'm the guy who's like, man, these taxes are killing my family. I sure would like to abolish the income tax. Give me the power to do it, and I'm going to do it.
Yep. It's getting people to wrap their head around that idea that we can still exist and have a high quality of life without a giant federal fucking government.
Right.
You know, we just have to nudge everybody just that little step, just to think about it.
And that's the thing.
Put
too,
your
it's like-
phone down for 10 seconds. Think about
here's
it.
the thing. I'm not even campaigning on winning, right? So like all
Right.
these people are like, this guy can't win. What a joke. He thinks he can win. No, I don't think I can win. In fact, I've made it very clear that I'm not going to win this election. When you put me in the general election, what I am is a vote for people giving the middle finger to the establishment. There's a lot of you out there. We could win. If everybody who wanted to give a finger to the establishment actually decided to give the middle finger to the establishment, me and my 7,000 kids would be moving into the White House, dude. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. And here's the thing, like, dude, if you guys would just shut the fuck up about this and actually vote for somebody who actually cares about what you're going through, life would change. Life would change.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt, because there's enough of you to do it. There's enough of you to do it. Dude, could you imagine if we shot for 5% and got 30? The political establishment would literally be cowering under their beds. We wouldn't even have to win.
It would be all you would hear about for a year out of the
More than
news.
a year. For the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
It will change the political landscape in America forever. Forever. Because not a single... listen, you know the last time a third party won in America? You know what year it was?
I don't.
1887. 1887 since the last third party won. Okay. Could you imagine threatening a third party win? Just threatening. Not that we have to win.
Right.
Threatening a third party win. I don't give a fuck what third party it is at this point. I just want to see the political elite and establishment shaking in their fucking boots. That's what I want to see. That's what my campaign's about. Because I know that I can spark and ignite a revolution in younger, middle-class families, dude. I've already seen it. I've been around the country. People are desperate for somebody to come along and tell the establishment to get off their fucking back. And you're not going to do that by voting for the guy who had the opportunity to give the biggest middle finger to the corporate news media on the way out and couldn't even pardon Julian Assange. Okay? So don't tell me he's the serious candidate, because he ran on the corporate news media being the enemy of the people. And then he didn't even talk about pardoning the one person who was actually a good journalist, who's actually telling us the truth. He talks about being a businessman. But we have Ross Ulbricht locked in prison for 2.5 life sentences for creating an e-commerce site that the government couldn't touch. And he had the opportunity to give the finger to the establishment. Did he do it? No, Trump didn't do it. He's not a serious candidate. He's seriously telling you what you want to hear. And Biden is no better. I'm not saying he's the man. He's only there to stuff his pockets and the pockets of his family. So you can't tell me I'm not the serious candidate. I'm the serious candidate. You're not the serious candidate. They're not the serious candidate. And you're not seriously worried about America if you're voting for the same fucking people that have put us in this fucking predicament to start with. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing that shit. Done.
Well said.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, when you look at the Republican debate and they're asked about the war in Ukraine, and which one of them said, "I'm pulling out immediately. This is over with." Zero.
I think
not a single one.
Vivek?
Vivek said something about moving the money around or something. Yeah, stop sending the money.
But then he argued with Nikki Haley for 10 minutes about which one of them were going to suck the dick of Israel harder.
Yep. America needs Israel. What Haley said. America needs Israel, and just like, wow, okay, just one question. We get the at least listen.
There's a good argument.
At least we get the truth right away.
There's a good argument there that we need Taiwan more than we need Israel.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I can understand the argument for defending Taiwan because, up until yesterday, I didn't know we had the capacity to build those chips anywhere besides Taiwan. I thought it was like the fucking Coca-Cola formula, but it was locked up in Taiwan for microchips.
Listen, it's because it wouldn't be an instantaneous switchover. You can't just go, okay, we're going to stop making them there. We're going to make them here now. There's a delay. They're saying the delay would be very detrimental.
It would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
To not have chips. Like, even just chip shortages did... Like that affected the car market.
That every night around 2:30 after my favorite show's over. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, but that would be
imagine
a
field of Teslas ready to roll, and they're missing one chip.
Yeah,
you can't sell them. You can't drive them. They're paperweights.
We need to talk to Elon
without the chip.
We need to talk to Elon. Elon, how can we listen? Anytime you ask a question to Elon Musk about technology and how we could do it better, he's always got an answer.
Dude,
why isn't somebody?
Or he'll pause and just kind of like look around for a minute. And then give you a 2-minute answer that's exactly the right answer.
Yeah, he's very smart, and I bet you he's got an answer for this. I bet if somebody sat down with Elon and was like, "Hey, Elon, how can we make these ships in America and stop making them in Taiwan so we can get rid of this tripwire for war with China? Because that's all it is.
Yep.
He'd be like, well, and then he'd tell you.
Yes.
And he'd give you like a whole
I believe
rundown
it.
on how to do it. And probably he'd be like, well, let me go see if I have enough money to get it done. You know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
can we start making them in Haiti? Make it less of a shithole.
No. Listen. It's paperclip. We do paperclip 2.0, right?
And take Cuba.
We
That's our
we
new
take
manufacturing.
El
Taiwan.
Salvador. We start
swoop in,
doing it in El Salvador.
Okay? All of a sudden, there's like their computers are just their laptops are there's no one there, just swinging chairs, right? We paperclip 2.0 all the Taiwanese people. We bring them here. Now we can make the chips here. Is that the problem?
I don't think that.
I think
there is a
I
We
problem.
just
I
give
think
them a
it's
chunk
a-
of
I think it's a-
Wyoming.
I think it's all a fucking deflection so that we can continue this.
It's
Listen,
fake.
And,
It's
and
a
one,
fake thing.
one
Okay.
of the best things I've ever heard from Scott Horton, and he told me this, and I said it a couple times last night. I keep calling it a double fail-safe, but that's not the correct term. We've had this since the Nixon era, right? With Taiwan and China, is where it's imagine you're like the little kid at school, but you got the big friend, right?
Yeah.
You got the big
Yeah.
old friend, and you know you could talk shit to everyone at the school because your big ass friend can beat up everyone you know, right?
True.
We're the big friend. America is the big friend, and Taiwan is the little friend, right? But for all these years since the Nixon era, we've told Taiwan, don't fuck with China because we may not protect you.
Right.
And we've told China, don't fuck with Taiwan because we may go to war and protect Taiwan. And it's worked all these years. But now Joe Biden has come out publicly like 3 different times and said, we will go to war with China over Taiwan, which is no president has ever said that because we've always had the double fail-safe. We've never had to worry about it. We've always done business with Taiwan. It's been fine. We've done business with China. It's been fine. But now we have a dumbass, demented president who has publicly stated we'll go to war with China in a time where we're driving Russia into the arms of China.
And Xi has like 100-year plan. So is he thinking?
Yeah, they have
You know,
long-term economic plans.
Yes. So is he thinking? We're gonna have eventual war with the United States. Why don't we do it now while they're weak and they have a weak leader,
We
rather
can't-
than wait till
we
later
can't go to war.
when they reconfigure?
And here's the thing. And listen, if you want the truth is China ain't shit. China ain't shit.
no, we could
Everybody
beat them.
that's all fucking all crazy about China right now, China ain't shit. They have millions and millions, 500 million people living in abject poverty. Their economy is not what you think it is.
No.
It's trash. It's a terrible fucking
There's
economy.
unoccupied city blocks. They
There's
built and there's no people there.
unoccupied cities.
Cities,
Not city
Yes.
blocks.
Yeah.
Cities.
Cities.
They built entire they built, so I learned this from Scott Horton.
Yeah.
They built an entire mock-up of Paris, France. And it's completely uninhabited.
Yeah.
Complete out in the fucking eastern desert somewhere.
Yep.
Completely uninhabited. Entirely uninhabited. Their economy is in shambles. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. So all we got to do is say, all right, Taiwan, you're on your own. We'd love to do business with you. If we can't, we'll make them here. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do to not push a thermonuclear war, dude. Period.
Yep.
Because China has hundreds of thermonukes. Russia has, what, 6,000?
A lot.
A lot, okay? And we
fucking
have
lot.
a ton too, right? Okay, here's the thing. What do you think is going to, and I want to say this on Timcast so much last night. What do you think is going to happen when we roll a battle group over to Taiwan, which is 90 miles off the coast of China, 7,000 miles off the coast of America, okay? We roll a fucking battle group over there. We got a couple of destroyers, a frigate, an LHD with some Marines just in case, and an aircraft carrier. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to sink an aircraft carrier.
Yep.
They're going to sink a fucking aircraft carrier. Do you know what the president of the United States of America is going to do if a country sinks an aircraft carrier? They're going to fucking fire nukes. dude.
We're gonna go warp, not warp, war.
And I have heard
That's what it's gonna be.
that
By-
a lot of upper level military people don't treat nukes with the same gravity that the average person does. They just look at them as bigger bombs.
Listen,
Yeah,
be honest.
they are.
Be honest here. Be honest here.
Ryan's
First
that's
of
what
all,
they are.
The national average right now is a 23% chance of a hot war with China. Much higher that we have a hot war with Russia. Okay. Currently, there's a 23% chance. That's a third of a chance that we have a war with China. Okay. If we roll a battle group 90 miles off the coast of China to protect Taiwan, we will have a sunken carrier, battleship, probably a destroyed submarine, ballistic submarine. I'm talking Major losses, thousands of Americans dead, and probably a lot more Chinese. Okay. What do you think America will do if another country sinks a carrier?
I mean, they'll go
nuclear.
ape
Well,
shit.
I know what we'll
We're
do.
going
And I-
nuclear.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know what we'll
We're
do.
going nuclear. America, Joe Biden will be forced into a position where he has to start a thermonuclear war. I'm sorry. I don't care who thinks that I'm pro-communist because I don't want to go to a thermonuclear war with fucking China. But hey, fuck you. I hate communists. I think they should be physically removed from society if we ever want to have a free society. But I can tell you that I don't live in China, and I don't want a war with China because I have family here. I have kids here, and I don't want my friends and family and my ex-shipmates from the Navy, I don't want them all to die in the Pacific just because we're worried about China having 5% more domination over the Pacific. Because right now the Pacific is a giant American lake. That's all it is.
Mhm.
That's all that we're worried about is them getting 5% of the Pacific.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all it is. So why are we going to have this big, giant, crazy discussion over Taiwan, which is just a tripwire for a war with China? Because really, in reality, all America cares about is keeping 5% of their control over the Pacific. That's it. That's all it is. It's insane to me, dude.
So is the key to the chip discussion with Taiwan? I'll admit I don't know enough about this, so I'm asking. Is the contention that China would take over Taiwan and then
They're going
seize
to take over
production of those chips?
I don't know
and
about the
starve
production.
us of the chips.
I don't think they would.
Okay.
I don't think they would.
I've heard that argument.
I think
We
I've
do
heard
so
that
much business with China already.
Yeah.
Already, we do so much fucking trade with China, dude. Like,
But
China's not gonna-
Yeah, I've heard a counter.
I
That's
think-
the counter argument I heard was they're doing trade with us. Why would they do that?
They wouldn't.
Why maybe they would jack up the
Because-
price, right?
we would be at the whim of China until we got our own chip, an alternative source of chip
Yeah.
manufacturing.
We already
maybe that's a
buy
goal.
a large majority of our cheap shit that we need for America from China.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And look, do you want to go to war over a piece of fucking plastic, dude? Is that really what we want? Is that really what we've devolved into in America? Is protecting our business interests in other countries instead of just going, you know what, we can make them here? No. That's what we've devolved into. And when we had the conversation about whether we're the bad guy or not, yes,
Yeah.
we're the fucking bad guy. We are the bad guy.
Well, his
China's not any better, but we're the bad guy.
yes, and Tony's argument on the Sean Ryan show was he goes, if we'd be pumping Iraqi oil right now, if oil was $1.25 at the pumps, I would at least understand because that makes sense.
Right.
But he's like,
No.
we
Not what's
didn't do that.
Listen,
We
Bastiat said
shut
it-
down their pumps there. So we would have to buy from the Saudis.
Bastiat said it best, dude. When goods and services are not allowed to cross borders, armies will. That's how it
Yeah.
works, dude. How it's always worked. Without free trade and free markets and diplomatic trading between countries, you go to war. That's how it's been, dude. That's why Trump's tariffs were so bad, because it was really pushing towards war. I mean, this is what it's all about, man. And you could say that I'm not smart enough to run a fucking business, but I do know that diplomacy and friendship make a lot more sense than war and carnage and death and terror. Okay? And every war in my lifetime has been over resources, trade. Every single one. And that's hard to swallow, dude. That's a hard thing to swallow. As a veteran who's been to one of those wars, a hard fucking thing to swallow, dude. It's hard to come to terms with that. If you're a veteran and you haven't come to that conclusion yet, it's time. It's time. Because no voice is more important in the anti-war movement than veterans who have actually been there. Sorry, it's just the truth. Because
And when you were there in the moment, I mean, you weren't. I think we maybe need to be clear. You were young. You didn't realize that in the moment, correct?
no, of course
so
not.
there's
I
all
was
these
17 years old when I
Yeah,
joined the Navy.
there's
dude. I
all of
thought-
these
I
kids
didn't know
over
any of
here,
this shit.
right?
I thought
So
it was to protect my country.
some of our best minds, some of our most able-bodied men, hopefully, right, are over there fighting our wars. They're in our military, and
Don't be a bigot.
you're supporting. You want to support those guys, but at the same time, those guys are going to grow up and realize, what were we doing? What were we actually? And that's starting to happen, and you're watching it happen.
I'm 40. I joined
Yep.
it 23 years ago, right after 9/11.
Yeah.
And My country made me feel like the biggest patriot for going over to Iraq. But 3 months into Iraq, I was like, this isn't right.
Yep.
And I wish more veterans would stand up. And a lot of veterans do. That's the thing. Like the most like focused and loud anti-war voices that I've ever seen are always veterans.
Yep.
Because they've been there. They've seen it.
And listen, they killed a lot of bad dudes. Let's be very clear here.
Sure.
Let's be very, we're obviously libertarian here. We're anti-war, but if you want to just get down to brass tacks and look at numbers, pros and cons, yes, there were a lot of bad people over there, right? There were a lot of oppressed people, but they weren't American people.
No. And it's just time, bro. It's time for us to stand up and say no more of this bullshit. So when we're talking about serious candidates, I don't want to hear anybody fucking tell me that I'm not a serious candidate. I am the only serious candidate that's running for this office right now. The only one. Because I'm the one who wants to end the wars. I'm the one who wants to take away the horrendous policies of the Federal Reserve. I'm the one who wants to stop subsidizing states to take away families from kids. I'm the one who wants to actually address the criminal justice system. I'm the one who actually wants to stop foreign welfare. I'm the one who actually wants to stop corporate welfare. I'm the only one. The only one that means it when I say it. I am the serious candidate, and I am the only serious candidate running for this office as far as high visibility goes right now. So other libertarian candidates, I'm sure, are serious. I'm sure Mike Kermat's serious too.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not. I don't know. But I do know that I'm getting the visibility. I have what it takes. And when it's a Republican and a Democrat tells me I'm not serious, fuck you. Serious.
Well, I hope that answers the super chat.
There wasn't a super chat.
Yeah, we did get a couple super chats tonight. I appreciate that. We used to like the super chats a lot. I'm watching Tim Pool's super chats coming in and going, damn, man, it must be nice. There's one guy in there spamming the chat, and every couple of tweets or every couple of chats, he drops $100 super chat the whole show. I was like, geez, man, it must be nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Well, we're going to get going. We're about an hour 15 now, and I guess we're not getting a guest tonight. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, he didn't show up.
He bailed on us. I think it was good. I don't think we needed it. I think we needed a show like that. It was cathartic for me to get some of that stuff out because I didn't get the chance to say it like that last night. I messed up a few things last night too. I really wanted to talk about the rogue province thing and how hypocritical it is between the Ukraine and China thing. Yeah, I started mentioning it and I just totally like biffed my words and I felt so good. But I was nervous. Like the first 45 to 50 minutes of that show, I was like, you guys have no idea. I was fucking nervous.
That's the part I'm gonna get caught up on. I haven't seen that part.
I could tell.
I'm like a million people are gonna see this.
I cruised in at like 50 minutes, so I think I sent you on something on Twitter. I'm like, "Oh, you're crushing it, dude! This is awesome." Maybe I'll watch the first 45.
Yeah, the last hour.
I'll send you a new text.
Last hour and 20 minutes, I went hard.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I'll send you new text
the first
tomorrow.
45 to 50 minutes. But I did say that I thought it was hypocritical, and I'm gonna try to articulate this the right way now.
Sure.
Currently, we're telling China they're not allowed to reclaim their rogue province. Because Taiwan's and somebody in the chat said that Taiwan's not a rogue Taiwan is a rogue province. It is a rogue province that pulled away from China, and it is ethnically Chinese, and China wants that rogue province back. They really do.
It's a 500-year history. It's not. Don't get
been
involved.
Going on for a long time.
Yeah, who cares? It's their shit.
But it's a rogue province.
Yep.
It is a rogue province. And I don't care if you think that makes me not a libertarian to say that's the truth of the matter. It was a province, China, and they left China. China wants it back. I get that. I'm not saying that's right. Okay. But
they should be able to leave.
But we're telling China as a separate country, we will fuck you up if you take your rogue province back.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Ukraine is trying to take their rogue province back.
Yep.
And their rogue province is ethnically Russian. And they want to be a part of fucking Russia. And we're telling Russia, give them their rogue province back.
Yep.
And that's how I meant to say it on Timcast last night. But I got jumbled and I was nervous. But that's the truth. We're telling Ukraine that they can get their rogue province back and we'll protect them. We'll protect them. Even though they're ethnically Russian and they want to be part of Russia, you can go get them and we'll protect you. Meanwhile, we're telling China, fuck off, don't go after that rogue province. How hypocritical do you have to be?
Perfect clown world fucking policy.
It's insane.
From the United States.
Insane.
Clown world.
Anyways, you guys got anything before we go?
Follow me on Twitter at BulldogGamer28. I am so close to that 300 follower mark, which is insane.
Yeah, you guys
because,
go follow my homie Ryan. He's got a fire tweet every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. I forgot something.
What?
We did forget one thing.
What?
The Jacksonville shooter.
Yeah, I don't know.
We shouldn't end on a bad note.
No, we'll bring it up on the next show.
Yeah.
Next week.
Okay.
Like, comment, subscribe, share the show.
Yeah, please share our
AJ,
show.
Yeah,
Listen,
AJ threw off my mojo.
it was funny.
Sorry,
'cause
dude.
I was watching Tim close out the show and open the show last night, and he's really good about
Yep.
We only exist by word of mouth. I think we try to put on a pretty good show here for you.
Yeah,
We built a really nice studio. We try to do it right. We got good audio, good video, all that stuff. I'm even able to work on the audio on the fly.
True.
When I boomer it.
Saw it tonight.
But we don't get any traction if you guys don't help us by sharing clips, liking, all that stuff. So if you can, please, if you're hearing this, go to the YouTube, share the video around, help us get out there. I think we made some really pertinent points tonight. And I think that we try to give you a good show. So if you can help us, we only grow by word of mouth, and we would like to get 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube as well. That would be really cool. And then we could do the show full time. So, and that'd be nice. I'd be very happy to give everybody 5 nights a week and a bunch of
Josh would
stuff.
probably buy us Bud Light Chiladas every week.
Every week I'd have Bud Light Chiladas for you. That would be their paycheck, and they would love it. You got anything before we go, AJ?
Follow me on Twitter. Poison_tip.
Yeah.
Poison_tip on Twitter. And I post my TikToks there now. So you don't have to follow me on TikTok. That's fine.
He posts his TikToks and his nudes.
Feet pics.
Feet pics. I have gotten 1,000 new followers on Twitter since yesterday.
Holy shit, that's a good bump.
It's a good bump. We have gotten about 30 to 40 new subscribers on the YouTube as well. I didn't pump the YouTube on Timcast, and I should have.
Dude.
I did it in the after show.
Yep.
But I should have done it in the main show. And the reason why I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, we compete with Tim Pool every Thursday.
Oh, that's
right. Really what we do every Thursday, we compete. And that's
so maybe it was good that you didn't say anything.
They do the show at 7 our time, 7 to 9 our time. Jeez. And we started our show at 7:30.
Yeah.
And it's the only time I can really do the show is after work. Unless you guys help us share this and get 1.5 million subscribers, and then we make it a full-time job. I'll do the show twice a day. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like we'd sit around and do the show all the time and make clips and have all the time in the world and producers and stuff too. Because he's got a fucking team, like a 30-person payroll team.
Like he has, it's just crazy to me. He's
got
a full-time staff.
He's got a farmer, dude.
Yeah.
Literally a lady who takes care of the chickens. Okay? His 90 chickens in Chicken City, bro.
Listen, guys. Check it out.
He's got an official chicken washer.
Yeah. Check it out. Chicken washer.
Check this article on BuzzFeed.
Yeah, it's
lady
it's crazy.
washes
he's
chickens.
Got a real good thing going there, dude. I mean, I'm envious of what Tim's got. That's great. I would love to get half as close to what he does.
He is so fucking cool. If I can say one thing to Tim, I know he's not listening. That's fine. Just you can lose the beanie, dude. We're totally cool. I'm totally cool with that. I totally get it.
On and shit.
But I just think I think at some point we will have a beanie-less Tim Pool.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he enjoys his beanie too much. He likes the beanie, man.
Doing great.
Okay.
Anyways,
that's fine.
Love you guys all to death. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm sorry that our guest didn't show up tonight. I'll find us a good guest for next Thursday. Maybe we'll have Travis Grew on. Maybe I'll call up Phil Lamonti and see if we can get him on or something. But until then, don't forget to break cycle.
Due to legal reasons, I just have to explain. The lyrics of my last song may seem to contain a violent call to action in the verse and refrain, but I just landed in Minecraft. The helicopter part was in reference to GTA 5 and the things you do. So any violence you commit, I am not an excuse, because I just landed in Minecraft. A chipper is my friend and he's constantly cold. Accusations of incitement getting totally old. Make your own choices, yeah, you have control, because I just landed in Minecraft. Obviously I would never advocate force, unless there's due process and a trial, of course. And if you're convicted, we will make you a corpse. In Minecraft, just in Minecraft. Nothing I mean, you know it. No product bidders, cause it closed for COVID.